What's going on, Atlanta Falcons fans? Man, it's your boy Antoine Smith tuning in right quick to give y'all my quick thoughts on a video. Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio, and y'all know how I feel about that guy. He talked about Kyle Pitts, and is he going to live up to that contract? That's a good question, but here's what he had to say.
Kyle Pitts signed his new contract with the Atlanta Falcons. They had franchise tagged him. He now has a 3-year, $54 million deal. He has been a compelling figure in the NFL. He entered as a top 10 draft pick. He actually played with Matt Ryan for a year. Matt Ryan, the now president of football for the Atlanta Falcons, the guy who's making the final call on using the franchise tag, on giving him a 3-year, $54 million contract. And there's always been this sense that the best is still to come for Kyle Pitts. That for whatever reason, it's never quite gotten to the point where it needs to be. I had somebody tell me a couple of years ago he had a knee injury at some point. He lost some of his explosiveness. He's not a natural route runner. He's a great athlete, but it doesn't come as easily for him to go out and find spots in the coverage and get open. But they seem to believe there's a way to get him to perform like he did on that Thursday night against the Buccaneers. Remember that? That was like a season's worth of production in one night. Prime time. The night they wore the creamsicles and they blew the big lead in the fourth quarter, and then Todd Bowles went F-bomb fest in the press room afterward. Pitts had a huge night. I don't know what would have happened if he'd been on the open market, but there's always been this sense that we're going to unlock this higher level of sustained excellence from Kyle Pitts. And maybe Kevin Stefanski will do it. Maybe it'll happen with Bijan Robinson blossoming into one of the best players in the NFL. And maybe Tua Tagovailoa is exactly what the doctor ordered in Atlanta. But we've just it's always been like, okay, we think he's going to live up to that draft pedigree. We think it's going to happen. And now they've paid him significant money when you consider the tight end market. And we'll see if it ultimately happens.
And I get where he's going with all of this. Trust me, I do. You talk about size, skill, position. Kyle Pitts should be at the top of the food chain. But we all know things don't always work out that way. Matt Ryan, very first year, Pro Bowl year, over 1,000 yards. Not too many tight ends have done that. And the problem with that year, only one touchdown, and that was mainly because this was a run-first team, and Arthur Smith really didn't know how to utilize his skills, which to me, none of these offensive coordinators or head coaches have known how to utilize his skills. This is why we're having this conversation right now. But Matt Ryan was, as we've talked about, he was the key catalyst in bringing Kyle Pitts back because he knows in the right system with the right coach, Kyle Pitts can break out easily. And I'm going to give you one thing that I want y'all to think about. We talk about the quarterback position. 5-6 quarterbacks ever since he was drafted. Nothing really consistent, really except for last year with Kirk Cousins. Yeah, I know y'all don't want to hear that. But here are some numbers that he put up with Kirk Cousins. And this is the reason why I think this is going to work out. And when you look at these numbers, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. When you look at these numbers, they don't sound impressive, but trust me, what he's been through as an NFL tight end in his first couple of seasons, this is just something to warrant. Kyle Pitts had 96 catches for 1,142 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 24 starts with Kirk Cousins at quarterback. Y'all know about that game in Tampa Bay. Who was the quarterback in that game? Who was the quarterback? Kirk Cousins. And he started, now he didn't work out the first season with Kirk Cousins. We talked about that because Kirk, for some reason, wasn't throwing him the football. But overall, over time, he learned to utilize his skill set. Look at the explosive plays they had. And I remember Torrey McElhaney posting this. 20-plus yard reception. He had 11 with Kirk Cousins. 11. And this is why I keep saying It's nothing against Michael Penix. It's just all about experience at this point. Who's going to help you win football games? He was not developed properly. This is why he's still behind the 8 ball. Yes, he can still, get to going in the right direction, because that's what they brought Alex Van Pelt and Inkstrand in for the quarterbacks, and it's working. And this is why I think Tua, to me, makes the most sense, because you look at completion percentage, damn near 70% for his career. How are you going to get Kyle Pitts to football? You have to be accurate. Have to fit the system. Atlanta Falcons offensive coordinator last year was a tight ends coach. Harold Fanning, dynamic season last year for the Cleveland Browns as a rookie. Put up fabulous numbers. So who's to say that Kyle Pitts, who's taller, faster, more agile, needs to work on his route running just a little bit more, and he lined up in the slot more than he did inline or X or Y. So when you look at the dynamic, I get it. You can have your doubts. But as long as you put a quarterback and implement Kyle Pitts in this system the proper way, what is there to doubt about it? Because, like I said, that Tampa game proved all he needed was the football in his hands, and you learn how to utilize him. Motion, slot, X, Y. We see what one of his favorite routes is the wheel route. You can't beat him at that route, because guess what? He's going to run right past you. So I get what Mike Florio is saying about, can he live up to the contract, and right now, with a sample size from last year, he absolutely can. Nearly 90 catches, nearly 1,000 yards, career high 5 touchdowns. So, look, I'm telling y'all, Kyle Pitts is going to warrant that contract. And I said they should think about trading, because I didn't think they could pay everybody. But hey, they proved me wrong. Drake got his contract, Kyle got his contract, Bijan is going to be next. So now, hey, Tua Tagovailoa, Michael Penix, whoever they put at quarterback, all they got to do is implement him, get him the football, and let him work. So, I mean, if they don't think he's going to live up to that contract, hey, that's their opinion. But me, I think he's going to do it. Y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Drop them comments in the comment box. Let's debate. Let's have fun as always, man. Y'all know how we do it. On the Sports Machine, this your boy, Antoine Smith. Signing off. I'll holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.